Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since we did a sit down video like this, and I thought as a big event has happened that I would sit down and talk you through my thought processes and why I made the upgrade, and some people will say upgrade, the way I did, but you'll understand why I meant upgrade eventually. So, with that being said, before we jump on into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified every time that I upload, but also so that your name appears on the screen, a bit like it is currently, however it's appearing, so that you get this shout out. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for me guys, it lets me and YouTube know that you enjoy this content. Also, head down to the comments, let me know what you think of Big Drumroll, the computer, which you'll know from the title of this video, wherever it is. And while we're here, check out my social medias linked around my face but also down below for you guys. The last sit down video I did was about my daith piercing, so if you want to see all that content, I'll have it linked in the iCard and down below in the description box. That all being said, let's just jump on into it. So as you may know, a couple of years ago my computer, my original one, got broken. So that video, it was in a Vlogmas. I'll have that linked in the iCard and down below. There was a short period of time during lockdown I didn't have a MacBook, so I was editing off my big computer here as well as my iPad. This worked for a while, it was fine, but I was just finding it difficult. It meant I had to batch videos and batch edit, which took up a good chunk of my day, which as a carer, not super helpful. So I ended up finding the MacBook Air. Now this was 2 years ago, so this was 2020, and this was the 13-inch MacBook, and I got it in the space gray. Now we could have sold this when I made my upgrade, but we didn't. My dad needed a new laptop, so he's going to use this. Now this machine, when I got it, worked great, and it still works amazingly. I do love this computer, and honestly I didn't really want to upgrade from the laptop I had. I really liked having the USB, the connective MagSafe. I liked having an SD card reader in it. Just things happened. Now this was the best computer I could get with my budget, so I got this MacBook Air. It was not top of the line. So this MacBook is the MacBook Air Retina 13-inch 2020. I'm having to actually look at it. Its processor is the 1.1 GHz dual-core Intel Core i3 with a memory of 8 gigabytes. The graphics was the Iris Plus, so it was good enough. It did basic editing that I wanted it to. The problem is, the more videos I make, the better I become with editing, the more intense my editing has become. So obviously, as you know, I've improved my audio of these videos. I've invested in a better camera just because I'm finding that I'm slowly building momentum on YouTube, and I want to make sure that my quality is the best it can be for as long as possible, which is why I've made these investments. This computer was coping, but I was finding that the fans were kicking in. It was getting extremely hot, and honestly, editing off this was making the battery run down really quickly, and I felt awful because I knew that meant this computer, with the way I was using it, wasn't going to last its lifetime. And when you invest $1,000 into a laptop, you want it to last for as long as it can physically last. This was crashing on me, it was dying really easily, and honestly it was taking me a couple of days, usually about 3 to 4 days, to edit what should have been a 2-day vlog, and it was kind of getting frustrating. So while we were at Granddad's, me and Dad did some talking, and we found that actually the money I can pay for a slightly better computer was feasible. My current financial situation meant that was possible. So I could have invested in something else, but I decided that a laptop that could take editing was probably better. Now originally I was going to invest in getting a new iMac, and I still will eventually, but my iMac is fine, it's lasting, it isn't worth anything now, it is getting old, and I will eventually upgrade it to a more powerful iMac so that editing from this house is easier. But I decided that being able to edit from a laptop was more important. So I had to decide what I was going to do, and we looked into it and we made the decision that investing in a laptop was better for me. I could have invested in the I think it's 2021 computers, which is, or is it 2022 now? I don't know. In the 14-inch or the 16-inch, which would have taken me to around the $2,000 mark. The problem with that was, honestly, I generally didn't think I needed a computer any bigger than the one I currently had, which is the 13-inch. So after doing my research and making the decision, I upgraded. And I upgraded to a MacBook Pro. Now, the reason I did that was because all the reviews said a MacBook Pro, which I also knew would last editing wise for longer. So I went with the MacBook Pro 13-inch. Now, I know this is a controversial laptop, and that is why I use the word upgrade kind of with air quotes, because I know tech YouTube is going to say this probably wasn't that much of an upgrade. Now, I did consider the 14 and the 16-inch, but at this moment in time, even with my editing load, I think investing in a computer with that much power behind it seemed a little too intense. Now, this has the same intensity, I guess, because it is an M2 chip, but this seemed like a good middle ground. I also like my 13-inch. I just invested in a smaller travel bag so I could actually take this to coffee shops, things like that if I wanted to. So as I said, I got the 13-inch MacBook Pro with the touch bar with the M2 chip, the 2022 one. This has 8 gigabytes of memory and 112 gigabytes of SSD. I do know that they've reused the box, and Tech YouTube says that this is basically the 2018-2020 computer, and they're right. And honestly, I wish I had just invested in this computer originally. But saying that, I'm also glad I didn't, because I don't think the MacBook Pro 2020 would have lasted either. I'm glad I kind of waited to upgrade till now and have the M2 chip, because I have actually already unboxed this. So you'll be seeing that now. I got it in the silver, which is different, and it comes obviously with stickers and everything, but it also comes with the power brick, which is the 67-watt USB-C adapter, and I've only had it coming up a week, so by the time you see this video it might have been a week, maybe 2, and I am absolutely loving it. The videos from the last day of Granddad's, seeing my grandpa, again linked in the video, in the iCard and down below. The last summer videos and this one have all been edited off this laptop. I have to say I love it. I do need to get a case for it. I'm very much one of those people who gets a laptop case. I can be slightly bit of a klutz, so I don't want to ruin this. I don't have a preference in color. Just to give you guys a little bit of context though, this is the space gray, this is the silver, and this is what they look like next to each other. I have it all set up with my Touch ID and everything. I find the size of the screen the perfect size for me. I am finding the touch bar a little bit new. I haven't used it a ton. It's odd not having physical buttons for my volume, my screen brightness and my keyboard brightness, but other than that, it's not too different. As I said, I'm still getting used to it all. I would recommend, if you are a video editor like myself and are finding your videos are a lot more intense, so whether that be the size, so I film in 4K, whether that be the footage you get, or it's just that you've got a lot of footage, because some of my vlogs can be 25 to 45 minutes long that I then cut down, and some of those vlogs still end up being long. This is probably the computer for you. Any of the pros in this year are probably for you. This is the year of upgrades for me, because in December I need to upgrade my iPhone, just because my contract is coming to an end, so I'm making the decision to upgrade my phone, so we'll see. whether I get the 13 or the 14. That will be a future video. I don't have a ton of thoughts on it so far. My first impressions is it's very powerful. It has yet to actually be used to the point where the fans turn on. It never gets warm. I have had nearly 2 days of battery life, even with intense editing. It doesn't cut it down too much. It cuts it down to about a day, if that, maybe a day and a half. The speaker volume is probably about the same as the MacBook Air I had. Screen brightness, again, probably a little bit brighter. It's certainly faster, but I think that, again, that's the M2 chip, and I'm very much grateful that I did invest in the M2 chip and not the M1. I just find that this works so much better for me. That being said, I am going to get a case for it. I will probably consider a screen protector. I did transfer my webcam cover from my MacBook Air to this one just because that is a preference for me. I like having the decision making, the power to decide when I want my MacBook camera to be actually on me or not. And yeah, not much otherwise has changed. I keep my software up to date on the computer, so obviously changing to this computer wasn't such a big deal. I was able to kind of just get into it and get started. So that is the end of the video, guys. I know it wasn't a long one. I just wanted to keep you up to date. If you are interested or have any questions about the MacBook that I didn't cover in this video, go ahead and leave them down below. I promise to get back to as many as possible. And if I have too many, I will make sure to make a whole separate video answering those questions. As I said at the beginning of this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every time that I upload, but also so your name is added to this shout out that's going on around the screen somewhere. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button so me and YouTube know that you like this video, and also check out the social medias that are appearing around my face, but also linked down below in that description box. Everything shown in this video will be linked in the description box down below. Please be aware some of those links are affiliate links. That does mean that I get a small percentage of that money, but you do not get charged any extra for those products. So if you're interested, go ahead and check those links out. Also, check out the videos that were linked in the iCards and down below if you want to know more about the computer, why I ended up upgrading it to the MacBook Air in the first place, etc, etc. Or if you wanted to see my summer adventures, they'll be linked down below or in the iCard, so go check those out. I appreciate everyone who watches these videos and subscribes. Please know it means the world to me to know that you are enjoying this content. And now it's time to say goodbye, but before we do be aware that you're about to see an outro as well as a end slate card. These appear at the end of most videos nowadays, and this will just have my YouTube logo where you can click it and subscribe, but it'll also have a couple of more videos and playlists for you to check out. So go ahead and do that so that you can see more of my face or content that is suitable to you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching and bye!